What's up, guys? Julien Guiteau here, and today we are on set of Chillin With Julien, episode 11, where the mission is interviewing inspiring individuals to inspire others. I'm super thankful because today we have a super inspiring individual. We are in Queens Village, New York, at Keiko Studios because we're interviewing none other than performer, entrepreneur, musician, Ashley Keiko. Ashley, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. I first, want to thank you for coming on to Chillin With Julien, episode 11. The goal is interviewing inspiring individuals, and I definitely saw you as an inspiring individual.
Thank you.
What you've done to create Keiko Studios, a music academy for, the neighborhood has, made a big impact, and you're going into, year 3, which is
yes.
mind-boggling. But happy to have you on.
Thank you. I'm honored. I'm honored to be an inspiring individual.
Of course. So let's get right into it. Where are you originally from?
So I am originally from Queens, Cambria Heights to be specific.
Okay.
Very close to Queens Village, which is where Keiko Studios is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Born and raised.
That's a beautiful thing. The viewers may not know, but I'm also born in Queens. Shout out South Ozone Park. And I feel like being back here for this episode, in my birthplace, is an important thing. Come back to your roots and see what you're doing is incredible. So music, when did you get started in music, and what instruments are you classically, trained in?
Well, I started when I was very young. I actually I can never remember the age I was when I started, but I think I was about 7 years old, and I started on piano. I actually did organ classes. Oh. That's how I started. And I did not like it at all. Yeah. It was a lot, with the organ you have 2 sets of keyboards plus the pedals. So
the whole thing.
Yeah, I did not like it when I was young, and my parents kind of really pushed me to learn it. Yeah. And then eventually I switched to just piano, and I loved it. After that,
most of that.
And I did classical piano lessons for majority of my childhood. Wow. And then when I went to middle school, I ended up playing saxophone. Okay. I chose that instrument because I wanted to be in the band at school, but piano wasn't a band instrument, so I had to choose some other kind of wind instrument.
Yeah, most of that.
And my dad used to play saxophone when he was younger, so that's why I chose that.
Yeah. Yep. Those are, some really great instruments and not easy to learn, Yeah. So that's, super cool that you were able to learn that at such a young age and now come to mastery at, where you are now. So let's talk about Keiko Studios. When did this come about? Did you ever see yourself being a business owner, and was it always within music?
Well, when I was young, I actually didn't see myself being a business owner. Yeah. Just, being someone who loved playing music, and I felt like I was actually starting to get really good. I always pictured myself performing. So, and at a young age, I just didn't even know what entrepreneurship was. But I was very, fortunate to have my parents who also have a business. They have a martial arts school called Zen Masters. Oh, wow. Yes. Yeah. So I was always involved with that, and I always saw them managing their business. And so as I got older, I was like, I just started thinking about how I can also impact the community with my profession, which was music. So that's really how it started. I never really saw it as a thing that I would do when I was young, but as I got older, I did.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful thing for our viewers to, see, you at such a young age, doing what you're doing, and, opening up your business and having a vision for something. It's not an easy thing to do. So what advice do you have, for our viewers that, want to create a business too, but don't know where to start?
That's a great question. Well, I would say definitely to speak with someone who has some experience. That's always the best way to start, for me at least. Because a lot of times, you have the internet, but there's just so much information out there. It's like you just don't know where to start. Yeah. So speaking with someone, that you can actually have a conversation with is so helpful, because then you get to know the ins and outs. You get to hear where they started, what worked for them, what didn't work for them. So I think it's just super helpful to find someone that has that experience.
Okay, so like a mentor, have somebody that you can see and look after, doing exactly what you want to do. You just released an album, Pursuit of Harmony. So tell us what that process took to create an album, and how do you know which songs, are album ready?
That's a great question. I want to ask that question myself too, because I honestly don't know when songs are album ready. Because even when I was doing this album, even to this day, I still listen back to the songs and I'm like, I could have done this a little differently, and I'm sure a lot of musicians feel that way, where it's like you never really have a final product, because there's you could edit forever. You can make small changes like endlessly, especially when it's your own creation. You don't have a box, you can do anything you want. So it is hard to know when it's ready. And I think having a date, like a release date, is always really helpful. So that kind of forces you to say, okay, I have to put this out now. I have to be done.
I feel that.
So if I didn't have a release date, I don't even know what I would do. I would still be editing. But the process, I'm sure it's different for everyone. For me, I actually wrote some of the songs that are on the album maybe like 5 years ago. So it's been a long time coming. It's been a long process. And so, I just decided one day, okay, I need to actually do something with these songs. And so I started making a list of songs. I wanted to have half covers and half originals. And I mean, the reason why I was doing half and half is because I decided to call the album Pursuit of Harmony, because I was in a pursuit of balance in my life. So, I was trying to balance being a business owner and being an artist. I was also trying to balance doing my own music versus doing other people's music. I see. I was in a balance of doing, traditional genres like jazz, and doing more contemporary genres like R&B and hip hop. So it was so many like opposites, I guess you could say.
Most definitely.
So that's why I really wanted to do, originals and covers.
So we, in the beginning of the year, had this pandemic, still going on to this day, but how did that really affect, your music, your release date, the business, and how did you adapt and adjust?
So I guess I'll start with the business, because it affected everything in very different ways. For the business, we definitely had to slow down a lot. We used to have, so many students coming here for lessons every single day of the week. And we had to switch everything to virtual lessons. And that's something we've never done before, especially being a new school. We just haven't tapped into the virtual lessons yet, but that forced us to. So we really had to quickly figure out how we were going to have all the teachers virtual, all the students. So that was a big transition. And then once we got the hang of that, then it was kind of, smooth sailing, but it was quiet. Just because so many students also took a break. Not everyone was willing to do virtual lessons, so it definitely was, a decline in students. So everything got really quiet. But thankfully, I'm just so thankful we were able to still keep going in 100%. General. And then since everything got quiet with the music school, I was able to focus a little bit more on my music. So that's where things really started to take off with my personal music and performing virtually, of course. But and then also working on the album, it just gave me a lot of time to do that.
I see.
So you know, there were some positives, some negatives, but I think now we're starting to get into a place where, with the music school, we're getting into a place where we have a good mixture of in-person lessons and virtual lessons.
What is your advice for individuals, that are looking to, be their best selves and, really move with their brand? And, it probably took some time for you to get to, this is Ashley Keiko, entrepreneur, businesswoman, musician, performer. What's your advice to individuals that are trying to like put the pieces of the puzzle together?
I would definitely say self-reflection is key. I mean, there's so many things, but the first thing that popped into my mind is self-reflection, because when you said, this is Ashley Keiko, and even still now, to me, I'm still trying to discover myself, but it did take me, sitting down and reflecting to kind of figure out, okay, what do I want to do? Like, what do I want to represent? When people hear my name or when they hear my music, what do I want them to think about? It's just so many things that so many thoughts that kind of go into it. It doesn't just come about. And I feel like you do have to be focused, and you can't kind of be all over the place, because I know so many people that, of course, like, people are very talented in different things, but I feel like if you're all over the place, if you're doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and, then people don't have something to really latch onto. So I think being focused and reflecting on what you want to represent is really important.
That's super interesting right there, because I think that reflection is, helpful for individuals to see, okay, what, are my skill sets? What do I enjoy doing? Where, do I want to, get better at? And, to really, lock in and work on your craft and hone in on, maybe 2 or 3 things. You eventually start seeing growth, Earlier we were talking about representation and, your voice and, doing super great things and knowing that individuals are watching, within your community, people that look like you, the younger generation. How important is representation to you, and how much do you put that, responsibility on yourself to, go for what you want, because you are aware individuals are watching? It's so important. As a young girl, I went to a predominantly white school, so I was like one of the few black people in the school. And so when I was young, it was just so hard to really feel, one, like I was beautiful, and then just to, see other people like me doing amazing things. So it was kind of tricky when I was younger. So I do feel like it's so important now that I have somewhat of a platform to represent people who do look like me. And so it's just so important. It does add a little bit of pressure. But I do feel like it's so important. I feel blessed that I'm able to even be that person for someone else, you know? So I feel like it's really important. I have a song called Young Girl. So I speak about that a little bit in the song, and it's kind of like a positive song to help people, and not just people who look like me, but people who possibly want to play an instrument but feel like maybe they don't see girls playing that instrument all the time, or something along those lines. So it's super important. That's special, because when you think about the whole realm of, individuals doing different things, and you only see a few, and you pinpoint one person, you're like, wait, that person does what I want to do, looks like me, and I can, do it too. And I think that's, super important for, the younger generation and individuals coming up to see, like, this is possible. Once one individual sees it can occur, you know, everybody starts to follow. And
right.
like you said, it's a broader spectrum too. You sometimes don't see, you know, more female in certain things. You don't see as much individuals from different, you know, ethnicities and different things, and you're like, why is that, and how do we break that cycle? And I definitely feel you're a trailblazer for that. So
thank you.
Super awesome right there.
Yeah, and I'm so excited to see other, you know, female saxophonists as well, because whenever I go out to perform, people are always like, oh, I never see a girl playing saxophone. But now online, I'm starting to find so many, you know, female saxophonists specifically. So yeah, it's really great to see that changing already.
That's a beautiful thing. So for your supporters, you know, tuning in, what message do you have for them to let them know not only, you know, what you have cooking in the coming months and year, but also what you want them to know about you that they might not know?
Something that people might not know about me is that I'm a 3rd-degree black belt in Taekwondo.
What?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my parents own a martial arts school, and I was always very involved. So I was very, very involved. Wow. I have my black belt.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But in the upcoming months, I hope to release a few music videos for some of the songs on the album. Yes, I'm excited about that.
So some BTS before on IG. That's super cool.
Yeah, so hopefully some music videos will be coming out soon. And aside from that, I'm just going to be, you know, working on doing some performances and just getting my music out there.
Yeah. That's awesome right there. You know, you start to see that there's things lined up, you know, for the coming months, and for, you know, your supporters and viewers that are just tuning in and learning about you. They know, oh, let's go follow and, you know, see what you're up to. But speaking of how to see what you're up to, how can viewers, supporters, you know, find you, you know, and on social media, online? What's the ads? What's the Instas? What's the websites?
Yes, so you can follow me at Ashley Keiko on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And you can also visit my website at ashleykeiko.com, and that's where you can find my album as well, which is on all streaming platforms. And you can also find my music school at KeikoStudios.com and at Keiko Studios on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're everywhere.
That's awesome right there. Well, I want to thank you, you know, for, you know, coming on to Chillin With Julien, episode 11. This has been, you know, an experience where, you know, individuals can see, you know, how, you know, big, if they dream, they can achieve, you know.
Yes.
And, you know, for individuals to see that, you know, you had the album, you have, you know, the studio, and upcoming performances. I think that just goes to show, like, that work ethic doesn't stop, you know, no matter the pandemic. You know, stay safe, stay healthy, but don't, you know, stop that vision and that dream.
Don't let that stop you. Definitely.
But so at the end of, you know, Chillin With Julien, we have our guests showcase their art. Would you be so kind to, you know, perform and share what you have?
Of course.
All right. We're heading over to Ashley performing. Thank you guys for tuning in to Chillin With Julien, episode 11. As always, stay inspired. Peace.
Hey, you're watching Chillin With Julien. Once again, my name is Ashley Keiko, and this is my original song, Burn Up. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You take me by the hand, pull me down to the dance floor. The rhythm of the beat keeps me coming for more and more. You burn up, burn up, burn up the night away. Your body on mine's what I can't dismiss. I got a little song and it goes like this. from left to right like we don't even care. You burn up, burn up, burn up the night away. Your body on mine's what I can't dismiss. I got a little song and it go like this. My name is Ashley Keiko, and that was my song, Burn Up. You're watching Chillin With Julien. Thank you so much for having me, and I hope you guys subscribe.